Hello and welcome to Sharon Local History. In this video, I would like to share with you some photographs from aftermath of the hurricane of 1938. All of the pictures are from Sharon. Some you may recognize the locations like Unitarian Church right here and North Main Street. Some, unfortunately, we are not sure where they were taken. So 1938 New England hurricane was one of the deadliest and most destructive tropical cyclones to strike the United States. It is estimated that the hurricane killed 682 people, damaged or destroyed more than 57,000 homes, and caused property losses estimated at $306 million. And now I would like to share some reports from Sharon. Parts of them are from Sharon Advocate and some are from Town Report. So there were many fallen trees all over town and many wires were down and it was pretty dark for a few weeks. Falling tree limbs and blocked roads caused at least 2 deaths in Sharon related to the storm. 15-year-old Robert Malcolm Davis died of a fractured skull caused by a falling tree limb on September 22, 1938. 8-year-old John J. Keating Jr. died September 25, 1938, of peritonitis and appendicitis when he couldn't be transported to a hospital. In the 1938 Sharon Town Report, Fire Chief William G. Darrow noted the almost complete destruction of the town's fire alarms by the storm. A letter to Chief Darrow from T. Buckley, reprinted in the Town Report, called the hurricane damage so extensive that it was deemed advisable to practically rebuild the entire outside construction. The subsequent installation of about 9 miles of new wire, the overhaul of some 20 miles of existing wire, and the replacement of 175 cross arms was completed by Works Progress Administration (WPA) crews at a cost of $840.15. Trees came crashing down. Downed trees created a serious fire hazard for the town as well. Forestry Commissioners William A. Taylor, William E. Clark, and George A. Stetton wrote in their annual report to the town. Sharon's loss as a result of September hurricane was enormous. A century will be required to restore what was ruined within a few short hours. Property owners suffered greatly as a result of depreciation in realty value from the aesthetic standpoint of beauty and shade. The loss is inestimable. WPA crews worked day and night for a week to clear fallen timber from town roads, and the forestry commissioners urged local residents to pitch in and help to make the town reasonably safe for a calamity that could clearly be more destructive than was the hurricane itself. One East Chestnuts resident remembers the downed wires and trees crossing the square down by the convenient mart and the Sharon Cooperative Bank. The man, who declined to be identified by name, said his family lived 2 doors away from the old Sharon Town Hall. He remembers hearing the door slamming and slamming in the wind. Walpole Street in particular was a disaster, he said, just tree after tree after tree down up there. The loss of electricity throughout town engendered some creative responses to the situation. At the foot of Chestnut Street and Pond Street was Scotty's garage, the man said, where the power was out a long time. They had a bicycle attached to a pump and they'd pedal the bicycle to pump the gas. While the hurricane raged outside, Sylvester and Ruth Sainsbury welcomed a new son, Richard Melvin, to their Mansfield Street home when he was born in Sharon during the storm. Elizabeth Seeley, now 81, that was about 50 years ago, was pregnant with her oldest daughter when the storm struck Sharon. We were a little worried, so we went to Winchester and stayed over there, Mrs. Seeley said. Her daughter was born September 30 at Winchester Hospital. Mrs. Seeley and her husband lived in Wildwood Street in 1938 and watched trees around their house get blown down during the hurricane. The loss of one of trees still stands out in her mind. Poor little squirrel was up in the tree and he had a hard time hanging on when the tree went down, Mrs. Siley said. Marguerite Dennett of Crest Roadway remembers the hurricane of 1938 like it was yesterday. By the way, this is from Sharon Advocate, kind of like memory of on the 50-year anniversary of the hurricane of 1938. Mrs. Dennett and her husband, former selectman Roger Dennett, had lived in Sharon 9 years when the storm struck. What stands out in her memory today is the heavy wind. The hundreds of trees ripped up by their roots and the fact that there was no warning of the impending storm. Nobody knew anything about it. We had no warning, Mrs. Dennett said. I know that it was about 3 in the afternoon and a friend of mine called. Her daughter was staying with me, she said. Keep Jane with you. There's a terrible storm brewing. She had been in the square, and the trees had fallen down on North Main Street and in the square. The winds came in and rained and it poured. Mrs. Dennett's house at the corner of North Main and Highland Streets lost its power and remained without heat and lights for 3 weeks. We got ice and put it in our refrigerator, she recalled, and they brought in men from New Jersey and Pennsylvania all over the place to do the repairs. Finally, Mrs. Dennett approached a workman on North Main Street to ask when her power would be restored. It was a Sunday morning. He went right out and turned on my lights. I was the only house on Highland Street on the North Main Street circuits, and I could have had lights for 2 weeks, but I didn't want to complain, she said ruefully. It was months for Sharon to recover from the damage wrought by the hurricane of 1938. For Marguerite Dennett, one expected problem never occurred. We had a tremendous purple beach on one side of the house, and I kept the children away from that side of the house during the storm because I was afraid it was going to come down, she said. It's still standing. So I hope you enjoyed this. I wanted to make this video for the pictures, of course, and um, maybe you can imagine how it actually looked like through some of those stories. So thank you for watching Sharon Local Story.